Okay, so here we are, leopard shark fishing in Del Mar, California. So I'm reeling in my light line. I just throw a light line just to keep things moving while I'm waiting. I know you can't see anything yet. There we go, we got the light on. I like using the red light. It doesn't flood out your night vision. Pick the pole up and start reeling. I always keep a really light drag when it is in the sand spike. And then I just tighten it up about 6 clicks. Here we go, he's running. Drag wasn't tight enough. Tighten it up. And just start reeling. Lots of fun. I'm using a 13-foot pole. I have
Small one?
I think it's smaller, I guess. So 50-pound mono. I'm sorry, 50-pound braid with 40-pound mono. I like the stretch that it gives. Probably like 25 yards of 40-pound mono. I am about as far north as you can get to the inlet, and then you look across the way and there's the dog park, or the dog beach rather. So someone told me that a 6-foot tide here is really good for leopard sharks, and honestly this area of this beach can't really handle more than 6-foot high tide anyways. Still fighting it. I caught it on a chunk of barred surf perch or yellowfin croaker, one or the other. At the mono. It's the only thing I've ever caught a leopard shark on, is one of those things. And I think if I had to only choose one of those, I would choose yellowfin croaker chunks. Now I am using a wire leader, but I later found out you really don't need to use a wire leader for the sharks you catch in the surf because their teeth just aren't that big. Leopard shark teeth are really very, very small, but they have a whole bunch of them. It's really cool. Still struggling. I probably should have tightened the drag a little bit more at this point, but he's pinned on pretty good. Turn the white light on so I can eventually try to see it, so I know I'm getting somewhat close. So what I'm doing is I'm walking into the surf to get some line, and then I'm walking back out. He's still not coming in. Go for another short run. I'm trying to find him in the surf somewhere. Find him.
Might be kind of small.
Alright, so still trying to get him in. The end of the fight is actually hard. It's harder than it looks because the shark is starting to become a little bit of dead weight in the surf, and because of the size of their body, the surf just wants to pull them right back into the ocean. So you saw how I held my fishing pole horizontal. You want to hold your fishing pole horizontal to the sand, so it's parallel like that, and then pull them in. Because if you do it any other way, what you're really trying to do is start to lift the shark up out of the water. You're never going to be able to do that. So you can hear him breathing pretty hard at this point. Again, this is harder than it looks.
Walk over here.
He doesn't want to come in. You're fighting him, you're fighting the surf. So next time I go, I think we're going to try a few different tactics. Again, probably won't use a wire leader. Bill Varney says that you can just fly line your bait with the wave action, handle it. If you start at high tide, your bait will typically just drift out because you need to, there he is. So that's the first I don't know if I get
Oh, yeah,
at him.
he's
He's that close.
super.
Yeah, he's,
For sure.
so the leopard sharks have to be 3 feet to keep. He's definitely 3 feet. I think he was close to 4.5 foot. But this is when it gets really hard by yourself. Because if I had somebody else, you could just kind of run up and grab their tail. But as soon as I get close, it's hard to hold a 13-foot pole in one hand and get close enough to the fish to grab them.
It's harder than it looks.
Yeah, it's harder than it looks. So these are very, very common sharks in Southern California. Talking to people on the beach that scuba dive, they say they see them swimming around all the time. Completely harmless. There's not any documented leopard shark attacks towards humans. Very docile. I'm sure once you get them out of the water and you start handling them, they'll try to chomp you, but any animal would at that point. So this is when I start feeling I'm tired, he's tired, I can't get close enough to him. If I had someone else to help, I think really just what I should be doing at this point is just tighten the drag so he's, yeah, see, there we go. I tightened it up a little bit. Just to prevent him from going back into the ocean as I'm trying to pull him back up onto the beach. And the waves help you, and then they pull the fish back away from you. So you start to time the wave, you start to, as you do get a little bit shallower, the wave pulling them back into the ocean is a little bit less. And once you get them onto the beach and the wave completely goes away, that's when you kind of got to just run up and grab them. So you got dive in, basically grab him. I don't want to just do that forever. I think both him and I would pass out. So drag him up onto the beach. I'm exhausted. There you go. Leopard shark. Del Mar, California.